Hi, this is Llarold, and today I've got a guide for the re-release Mage Tower challenge for Blood DK. I've put up guides for all the tanks now. The Monk video is the long-form video guide, complete with all the details of the boss abilities, so check that out if you want a really in-depth look. You can also look at the written guides I've made for Brewmaster and Prot Warrior on Wowhead if you enjoy reading. The main point of this video is to go over the basics, give some quick tips on what helped me break through and get the kill, and then show the whole kill. Just as a preface for the DK video, this was the last one I did, so while I was pretty warmed up to the fight, I have to say it's one of the easiest tank challenges available. I think in hindsight, for me, Warrior was the easiest, but the general community opinion seems to be that VDH is the easiest, with DK and Warrior both being pretty close behind. In any case, once you're comfortable with the cruel encounter itself, this should be one of the easier challenges. Blood DK really just doesn't lose much power from Shadowlands, and the base kit is insanely tanky. The main issue I think you're going to run into here, it certainly was for me, is being able to deal enough damage, and that's not too difficult if you run offensive trinkets. Alright, let's get into it. This is the talent setup I used. Blood Drinker isn't mandatory, but it adds a lot of single target DPS, and this challenge is mostly a single target DPS race, so I would say it's pretty close to mandatory. It's a very good choice, and you know, you really should be comfortable playing with it anyways. Having Bone Storm can really help with AoEing down the Nether Horror packs. It's not my favorite talent, and I think Purgatory works okay as a tool for surviving one extra Cruel Annihilate cast, but it's not great, and Bone Storm is kind of free real estate when it comes to doing some extra AoE damage. Now let's move on to gear, and I didn't do much fancy here. In terms of trinkets, I used a pocket-sized computation device from BFA with Cyclotronic Blast, and it added a lot of single-target DPS that I desperately needed. For the other trinket, I just used an unstable Arcano Crystal. Any trinket that adds stats or direct damage, either on use or procs, should work fine. You can go with defensive trinkets, but I think that Blood DK really just needs as much damage as it can possibly get, and offensive trinkets are the way to go there. Defensively, this challenge is just very forgiving for DKs. Also, just as a quick note, Potion of Unbridled Fury, the relatively inexpensive DPS potion from BFA, will add substantially more damage than Shadowlands potions do, so use those if you're struggling on DPS at all. I did not compare how much damage it added until after I'd finished the challenge, and I didn't use Potions of Unbridled Fury for any of them, but it basically wound up being like an extra 5% more overall damage just basically for free. It's really good. I start out phase 1 by casting Cyclotronic Blast and Blood Drinker on Varus, then I basically just DPS him as much as I possibly can until ads spawn. You can use Anti-Magic Shell to prevent his annoying AoE debuff circle from applying to you for a few seconds during phase 1, which is fine. The eyes he spawns throughout the phase are immune to physical damage, so I try to hit them all with Death's Caress. Yeah, Death's Caress, the ability that you otherwise should never ever use. I think I threw some Death and Decay under some of the eyes as well when it was able to hit other ads. I mostly focused on DPSing Varus or the Nether Horrors because the eyes will tick down from Blood Plague. If I could get Nether Horrors close to an eye and then hit them all with a Blood Boil for free, I would do that instead and save the rune that I would have otherwise had to waste on Death's Caress, but sometimes you can't, and that's where you have to use Death's Caress. The Nether Horrors will channel Nether Storm, which can kill Velen or Corvus in just a couple of seconds. You can use Gorfiend's Grasp to interrupt them, but racial abilities, even stuns like War Stomp, will not prevent their cast from going off. It's kind of lame. I mostly use Velen's Orbs to disrupt their cast and tried to just kill them with Blood Boil and Death and Decay as quickly as possible. Once you kill Varus and move on to Cruel, the fight gets a lot simpler. I wouldn't say easier, but definitely simpler. Basically, you just keep interrupting Cruel, dodging slams from Infernals, and picking up and DPSing down the Nether Horrors as they spawn. In terms of surviving each Annihilate cast, I try to have full health before each one hits. But here's my basic defensive cooldown plan. For the first cast, just full health will do. For cast number 2, I use Rune Tap. For cast number 3, I use Vampiric Blood and Rune Tap. And for cast number 4, I use Rune Tap and Icebound Fortitude. I killed Cruel before the 5th cast on every tank, even DK. If you manage to stay alive long enough to get a 5th Annihilate cast, I would say try to delay it with orbs from Velen, stun him if you can, basically use everything you have left, and good luck. Purgatory can probably eat the 5th cast for you. A Cheat Death Trinket, if you're layering another defensive cooldown so that it won't overkill you, will also do the trick. Alright, that's it. I'm going to play the kill in its entirety now. Ask questions if you have any. Like and subscribe. You know it. Good luck with the Mage Tower, and thanks for watching.
Arrogant fools! I am empowered by the souls of 1,000 conquered worlds. Even a fraction of my power will be enough to destroy you. Not so fast. Varys, dispose of this rabble. I will mend your wounds. Look always to the light. Our power is infinite. Our numbers are endless. Bow before the might of the Burning Legion!
We will never bow!
You must stand strong, champion. Do not give up. Ha! You are all that remains. There is no hope, fools. is coming to save you.
It is you who are alone, cruel.
This is
Your time
not
has come.
possible. This is not possible. So be it. I'm not standing away any longer. Behold the wrath of Cruel!
He is overloading himself with power. Look out!